was the Great Depression. With this crisis came the end of the era that is the Republican Party, which came to a close with the election of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Since many blame President Herbert Hoover for not doing enough to combat this crisis, and Democrats also taking control of both houses of Congress. Since Franklin D. Roosevelt was put into office, there has been many changes throughout the United States, including his New Deal program, which is said to be used to combat the dark times we're in right now. Through his New Deal, we obtained Social Security, what has been stated to help with unemployment insurance, and the 3 R's: relief for the unemployed, recovery for the economy, and reform for the financial system to prevent a repeat of this event. Because of this Great Depression, our government has had to remake its institution throughout the United States, and the inability for the government to respond to this crisis has led to political unrest. I am Cranston Young, and I am about to pass this economics.
Segment 1, Economy. How was the economy affected during the Great Depression? Well, the industrial production fell by 47%. Not only that, but gross domestic product, GDP, has now declined by 30%. And because of the hard times people are going through, unemployment reached more than 20%. Hooverville was a town people stayed in, and now it became a homeless encampment because of the Depression. Housing prices have dropped drastically, and now a third of all banks failed. The economy has been affected badly because of the Great Depression. Skylar Price speaking. Today's topic is society. In our society, millions of people have lost their jobs, causing them to be evicted from their homes and move out on the streets. People are now living in parks and sewer drains, using newspapers to keep warm. Others have built shacks from scrap materials. Now you can go around and look at these little towns that consist of these shacks. People are stealing, rummaging through garbage, and standing in soup kitchen lines and bread lines to get low-income food. Prostitution is on the rise as women use the money to pay bills. When is America going to help these citizens?
Today's news consists of the current events happening now in the 1930s. We have entered our first blow of unemployment, which made it harder for the production of wheat to be sold. The disaster happening in the United States starting April 18, 1935, a dust storm covering small towns. For families that have left during the dust storms, they have moved into neighboring cities or towns, and for those who have stayed had challenging times. Doctors discovered filled lungs with the dirt of deceased cattle and children. Therefore, America, stay safe and God bless.
Due to the stock market crash, we have seen multiple people go from living lavish to being poor in the span of a few days. We've been going onto the streets to interview these people and get their opinion on what's going on. One of these interviews will shock you. We interviewed a woman named Joanne Thomas, and this is how it went. Now, ma'am, before we begin the interview, would you like to tell us some basic information about yourself?
My name is Joanne Thomas. I am 68 years old, and I live in Hooverville. I worked at a local factory before this depression hit.
In your eyes, what way has the world changed since the Depression?
Many Americans are seeking for better job opportunities and higher wages because of a shortage in American money. 3/5 of the population is poor now. I see a soup kitchen on majority of the streets.
Now, Joanne, do you think society will ever revert to the way it was before the Depression?
No, I don't think our society will return to the way it was before. This depression helped us Americans realize the real value of money instead of buying items that we can't afford, which was why the stock market crashed.
Now, we're running out of time, but I have one last question for you. How were you affected by the banks going bankrupt?
All of my money, along with others, is gone. President Roosevelt closed all of the banks on March 6th. This era of our lives is terrible.
You heard it here, folks. A truly terrible time. And with that, we have come to the end of our broadcast. Next up, we have paid promotion. I'm Jaden Pittman, signing out.
Hello, my name is Kendall, and today I'll be advertising a new broadcasting product. Do you need need a product that allows you to learn new information, we're introducing the radio. When this Great Depression first started, it was hard to transfer new information and resources from place to place. That's why the radio was invented. The new radio allows people that live even in remote areas to hear about new sources of vital information and listen in for entertainment. Knowing that, the radio was really sought after. It is even used worldwide. Get a new radio selling at between $35 to $200 and listen